Have you ever felt?
Are you listening?
Good afternoon, or evening, or morning. Depends on when you watch the video. This is Drive Time with Dave, and I'm Dave. I'm the driver. How to sell on eBay. So, today's topic, how to sell on eBay. So I had a meeting with a gentleman that came in to talk to me about a whole bunch of business ideas. And one of his questions was how to sell on eBay. And my response was, there are plenty of videos and blogs and ebooks. There's a lot of material out there about how to sell on eBay. So if he actually has a question, I'm listening. And he goes, well, that is my question, is how do I sell on eBay? I'm like, I don't really think that's your question, but I have a question for you. Why do you want to sell on eBay? Well, I want to make money. Well, what kind of money are you looking to make? It seemed like a reasonable question to me. And he goes, well, I need to make some fast money. Oh, I see. So you think selling on eBay is going to be fast money? Well, I got a top 10 list in my head of ways that you can make money fast. And I got a list in my head of top 10 ways that are going to be really slow and long term. We don't get on eBay because you need immediate money. You want to get on eBay and start selling some stuff around your house to try to make extra money, but it's not going to sell at some rate of speed that's going to change your life. You're talking about eBay. And his response was, wow, I didn't know that. Well, what's the fastest way that I can make money? Well, I got to be honest. I think going around your neighborhood and offering to wash everyone's car, it's probably a faster way to make money than trying to sell stuff on eBay. If you're physically capable, I'd just go around, I'd offer to wash everybody's car in the neighborhood for $10. Well, you can wash a car about every half hour, so you'd be making $20 an hour. So if I really needed to make $100 or $200 or $800 or $1,000 over the course of a week, I'd just go around the neighborhood and offer to wash everybody's cars. It's got a very low point of entry. Almost no cost at all. I don't know if everybody's laughing at me or not. I can't tell. I don't hear the cheers of laughter that was even funny, because I don't think I was trying to be funny. The guy was dead serious. He thinks that he's going to get on eBay and start making a whole bunch of money overnight. No, sir. He goes, well, I need to make more money than if I were out washing cars. Well, if you spent the next 40 hours doing that, you'd make $800. And he goes, well, that's not enough. Well, it sounds like you got yourself a serious problem. That's what I think. So, why do you think you can sell on eBay and make a whole bunch of money? Do you have products lined up? Do you have an endless supply of these products? Do you have a product that's supply and demand based, where there's more demand than supply, or do you have more supply than demand? Or you got one for one? Is it something that you get to buy for a penny and you're going to sell for $50? Is it as soon as you get it listed, it's going to sell and you're going to sell 100 a day? Because that doesn't exist. And that means you've been on the internet looking at get-rich-quick schemes. That's what that means to me. Get rich quick. Sometimes I think I would make more money by washing people's cars than selling stuff on eBay. At least I could control it, right? I could control it by going up to somebody's house and saying, hey, can I wash your car? And they simply say no, and then I go on to the next house. So I can control how much work I've got by simply going and offering it and then doing the work, and I get paid. On eBay, we do a whole bunch of work. Maybe it's going to sell, maybe it's not. We've got money tied up in inventory. So we're out the money, we're out the time, and we got no sales. Whew! But I can, by looking at the number of items that I've got coming in versus what I've got going out, come up with a waterfall, create a nice projection so I've got an idea where my sales are, and then calculate in seasonal changes. And I get into all that crazy stuff that nobody really cares about. Because what we all want to really do is buy a whole bunch of stuff, put it on eBay, it's going to sell tomorrow, and we're going to have lots of money. But I don't think that's the way it's going to work. Historically, it hasn't worked like that for me anyway. And we certainly know that you're not going to buy a whole bunch of stuff, put it up on Amazon, it's going to sell, and we're going to make a bunch of money because, again, so many aspects of what we can do, which part of our supply, our sales, our supply channel, our sales channel, can we actually control? On the side that we're on reselling, we can control how much material we bring in, or we're limited by how much material we bring in by simply how much money we've got in inventory. So now I'm going to go back to the questions that he was asking. He goes, okay, so hypothetically speaking, Dave, I want to start $1 million a year eBay business. And I laughed right at him. He goes, well, why is that funny? Well, because you just asked me how to do $100,000 a month in sales on eBay. And I think that's funny. He goes, well, why is it funny? I mean, is it realistic? Can it be done? Yeah. All right, well, how do I do it? Well, you're going to need to hire a bookkeeper. You're going to need to hire a shipping and receiving clerk. You're going to need to hire listing people. You're going to need to hire an inventory control person. You're going to have to be able to source the material yourself, or you're going to have to get a purchaser that can manage doing all your incoming sourcing / purchasing. Wow, that sounds like it'd be a big operation. Yeah, I mean, you want to get in there the ring with the big dogs. That's what it takes. You don't really think that you're gonna. Well, I mean, I take that back. I started to go off on one of my long, drawn-out explanations. But there is another side to it. Well, I suppose if you decided to start and buy and sell Rolexes, well, you could do $100,000 a month, and I don't know, maybe 10 at $3,000 a piece or $1,000 a piece. I mean, you sell 100 Rolexes, $100,000, and maybe you get to make $200 or $300 profit on 100 pieces, and you'd make yourself 20, 30 grand. So, you know what? It's possible. I take the whole thing back. You don't need all those people. That sounds like a pipe dream, if you ask me. Because you'd have a whole lot of inventory. Wait, you wouldn't have a whole lot of inventory. You would have a little inventory with a huge value. And, I'm looking at longevity of business and the sustainability of it. And the diversification of the products, we have no diversification. And that's a pretty niched out group and a very high sale price, which lowers your buyer pool. The more expensive an item, the smaller your pool of buyers are. And he goes, well, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Well, I'm glad it makes sense. Do you Do you have products lined up? No. I got to find a product. Well, do you have people lined up? No, I'd have to find people too. Do you have a building? Nope. Well, I forgot. The original purpose of the meeting was, you got a bunch of ideas and you wanted to bounce them off of me and see what I thought. So I think you need a building, and you're going to need at least 5 employees with predefined roles, with processes that they're going to follow, and hope nobody calls out sick, because, well, then you got to make sure some of them are cross-trained to be able to do other people's jobs. He goes, wow, this sounds like a lot of work. Yeah. Yep. Because again, I'm going to go back to, I don't think there's any other way to make money without working. There's a few jokes that come to mind right then, but I'm not gonna say them for fear that I'll be construed as something other than what I am, and that's just providing some loosely based business advice, because that's all this is. So it's difficult to be a one-man show and produce the kind of money that this gentleman wants to produce, unless you become a salesperson, maybe for a pharmaceutical rep for pharmaceutical companies. I understand those reps make upwards of a couple $100,000 a year. I suppose that's possible. I don't know what the point of entry is and how difficult it is to get one of those jobs, and then whether or not you've got the personal skill to be able to do it. I have no idea. You have to be a good salesperson for a majority of the time to make deals. To run a company, it takes a little more than ideas. It takes executing those ideas and then turn that execution into written processes and procedures, and having not necessarily the right people, but having dedicated people in the roles that they're comfortable with. You have to be able to do and perform all of those roles and functions to be an effective leader, to be an effective business owner. You have to have at least a good understanding of each function. These are the things that are important, whether you're one person now or again if you want to grow. But the question was answered, and I laughed a little, and he seemed heartbroken that he wasn't going to be able to make $1 million a year on eBay all by himself. And that was the moral of the story. You can't make $1 million on eBay all by yourself, unless you're selling Rolexes, I suppose, and some other items that I'm not really thinking of that are very high ticket. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. I'm Dave. This was quite possibly Drive Time, and I'll see you soon.